Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
I would like you to sit there with a straight face and tell me that you're naming all these companies. Oh, welcome to the Marks Podcast, by the way. I am Dan. This is Gerard. That we're arguing right before the stream about how you can't go to wrestling events. And I would like you to sit there and tell me that other than your precious big time wrestling, OVW, and a bunch of indie crap, that you can't go to an AEW event?
I don't know. I've never tried to get tickets.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be an unbiased show where we have discussions, and yet one person has 3 letters tattooed on his ass and thinks they're the fucking B's and E's for everything.
No. Yeah, I've just never. The last time I paid for tickets to a show was WrestleMania 14.
So you're an elite as fuck. It has nothing to do with you being a fucking fan of like going and paying and being your blue collar guy. You fuck.
Hey, listen.
So
why get under the counter if you can get the milk for free?
You see this guy, right?
I haven't paid for a ticket.
So to those of you who haven't joined yet, and when you watch back, I want y'all to hear this guy doesn't. He got upset with me earlier this week. You know that? Come in, because I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. I want you to be able to respond to why he got mad at me.
All right, what happened?
So you know that I am a big fan of AEW. Some of the guys there. Swerve Strickland. You know, I love Swerve Strickland. I love MJ. I love MJF. There's a guy. He's called the Billy Goat, or the Goat. Is his nickname.
Yeah, Osprey.
Yeah, Will Ospreay. You've seen him, right? He's pretty damn good, right?
Yes.
The aerial assassin. He's amazing in the ring.
He's actually getting to work again, which is a miracle.
I know. And instead of celebrating, oh my God, the Billy Goat's back, the guy's back, I get yelled at by Gerard. How the fuck are you going to call him a goat? He's not even been. He's been in wrestling for almost 15 years. He's only been in those piece of shit indie promotions. They never did shit. I was like, he was in New Japan. He was the New Japan champion. He was all these other things. But no, because he's not in Gerard's tiny little bubble of a fucking world. He doesn't mean shit.
No.
Oh,
Let me ask you this. Give me the last guy who you would say was a Hall of Fame talent who never made it to WWE.
Kenny Omega.
You think he's a Hall of Fame talent?
100%. Kazuchika Okada.
Okay, he's been around for 3 years.
Kazuchika Okada?
Okada, that's the guy I'm saying to you is...
Kazuchika Okada was the rainmaker in New Japan.
What I'm saying to you is New Japan, okay? I'm saying you to the American. It'd be like if Shohei Ohtani never
played. No. You're deciding that because it's not an American-based promotion that you're going to say that the great Baba didn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Let me ask you this. Okay, we talked about Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen was a Hall of Fame talent, right?
Yeah, got his teeth though, and really got popular in Japan because Japan treated their athletes right. Vader was made to be a joke in here, but he was made to be a legend in Japan.
Because what's the one thing that they did in Japan that in America they really couldn't do that much? They were brawling their asses off over there. And the Japanese people, they're crazy. The way they support.
No, you had a psychopath old man who thought that he could control everything, who liked to bury people if they didn't suck his dick.
Well, he wasn't a psychopathic old man back then. He was a young psychopath.
He's not wrong.
Crush leaves. That's all I'm going to say. Crush leaves.
Exactly.
I mean,
there's a Playboy interview that begs to differ with his state of psychopathy.
He back then, he wasn't thinking about, how can I say, the touching of the girls. I'll tell you.
He was a fucking prick.
He wasn't thinking about being the ass man either.
Don't talk shit about Bill Ass.
The kiss my ass.
Don't talk shit about Bill Ass.
He kissed my ass club.
That was a fantasy for him. Just like it was to treat beautiful women and put them in mop water. And no matter how much he compensated
We're
them.
swerving into dangerous territory.
There we are. Okay. I'll be good.
All I'm saying is the fact, though, okay? Not every guy who hasn't made it to WWE is Hall of Fame worthy.
I never said that Ospreay is to that point, but there are people in their youth now, like people like Javon Evans, like people in TNA, like Leon Slater, that will absolutely say that Will Ospreay inspired them to be who they are now. Without Will Ospreay, there wouldn't. Without Kenny Omega and guys like him, there would be no Will Ospreay. How many of these
guys give credit to Tom Billingham?
What the fuck is Tom Billingham?
Dynamite Kid.
We don't talk about the Dynamite Kid.
No. How many give credit to him? Because if without him, they might not have got their start.
Okay, so Dynamite Kid, we're talking about a guy who brutalized people in the ring, brutalized his fucking family members, and died alone, pity and pissed off, penniless.
I'm just saying. Let's talk about in-ring. Okay,
in-ring style. Okay, he did a diving head, but I would give more credit to Benoit than I would the Dynamite Kid. There would be no Benoit without the Dynamite Kid.
It started with that. I'm saying it started with him, went to Benoit, and I'm saying is guys who always thought.
Then why don't we give credit to someone like Greg Gagne, who was doing the high flyer shit well before?
What I'm saying is, guys who did not think they had a chance started to think they had a chance because the Ivan Putskis of the world.
I don't believe that for a second. I believe that those guys got over in Canada at Stampede and all that, and eventually came to WWE. But it wasn't even they weren't getting pushed because they were still bigger guys. If you want to really, really go into the small guys, Macho Man Randy Savage. That's who you need to talk about. If you want to talk about small guys,
Piper wasn't big.
Piper was never world champion.
But you know what Piper could do?
Talk.
And how many of your world champions needed guys?
Okay. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about athletic in the ring. You don't like Will Ospreay because you said you didn't like his voice, but you can't deny what he can do in that ring.
Listen, there's a lot of guys.
You said he sounded stupid.
Let me finish. There's a lot of guys who I've said their talent in the ring outweighs their mic skills. Okay? Outweighs their mic skills. But somebody in the match going to be able to talk.
Okay, well, Ospreay can talk, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. You don't like him because he has that British accent, and you made fun of it. You said, I can't understand him. Blah, blah.
Listen, we complain about a mumbling, stumbling, I don't drive this car that often. Blah, 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 blah.
You didn't like Finn Balor because of his accent. And you said he was ugly.
He also looks like a leprechaun. I'm saying to you this.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to bring up shit, and I'm going to counter it every time because it's what we do on this show, I wouldn't go with Dynamite Kid. I would have gone with Shawn Michaels. I would have gone with Bret Hart. I would have gone with Kurt Hennig, who showed that smaller guys, except for Kurt Hennig, who never was ever going to get that world title, which technically no.
Hold on. Before though, the Intercontinental Champion.
No.
Back then,
Kurt Angle did win a major world title. Kurt Angle won the AWA world title from fucking Bockwinkel.
Would you say the mid-'80s to the early '90s, the Intercontinental Championship was almost more important than the heavyweight title?
No, I said what I would say is the guys that made that title truly mean something, would have been Bret Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Kurt Hennig. After that, they had matches that overshadowed that belt, like Razor versus Shawn. But no one talks about Razor's Intercontinental title.
Like I said, the mid-'80s, early '90s.
No, but what I'm saying is it was those three guys. Or maybe there might have been other handful of guys, but it was because they were.
Well, you're forgetting one guy.
Who?
The second greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
We don't need to talk about the fucking. No. Honky Tonk Man. He had the longest reigning run, but it was a joke.
Okay.
So he was a heel who made a joke out of that belt. You know who made that? Who, after all these years, legitimized that belt?
Don't tell me
Gunta. Oh. And even the Miz had a better run. He can't get a T-shirt to save his life, but he did have a good run of that belt.
Well, that's because he got cursed.
I will say this. So what we need to talk about is we didn't talk about last week because somebody went on a tangent. The heel run for Randy Orton.
Yep.
I like it.
I don't think the fans right now are calling him a heel. If you look at the reaction last night, was that a heel reaction?
They his best efforts to try to like diss the fans and say that they don't mean anything to him. What he wants to mean something is the number of world titles he has. I know he's trying, but he also, I think he knows that there's no way that people are tired of watching Cody.
No, here's the other thing is when you've been around for 20 years, I think it's come to the point to where he's earned the respect of the fans on this run, a la Austin, to where they tried to turn Austin, they couldn't do it. I don't think you can turn Randy this time to where you're going to have Randy getting booed at WrestleMania.
What do you mean?
I think he's gotten to that point to where
it's okay. There's something to that, but I don't think that's it. Let's look at the meat on the bone here. Cody is not the beloved figure that they want him to be right now. He's turning into John Cena 2.0. And look, I'll acknowledge that John Cena had a great career, 20 years. He's a legend for everything he's done. And towards the end of his career, he finally got the praise he needed because he went away. People are watching Cody Rhodes become that guy who loses the title, wins it back in a week. He's becoming the next John Cena. And maybe that's what you want because you loved you some John Cena.
No, I'm going to put it to you like this, okay? Somebody came along and in 2 days topped Cody on merchandise. What's that go to say? The fans have been waiting for somebody, and that person came.
It has nothing to. Okay, if you're
what I'm saying is,
it's Cody fatigue.
That's what I'm saying. So we've got something that we can turn on, and it helped us turn. We were waiting for something to help us.
No, okay, but Danhausen is not going to out. Like, no, nobody's begging for Danhausen to be the world champion.
That's what I'm saying. It was a 5'5" clown, and that's all it took.
When you actually get cursed, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
What I'm saying is,
if Mr. Hausen, Mr. Hausen, if you're out there and you hear this, it's not me saying this. It's him. It's Gerard Millette.
All it took is the fact of this guy to come in and do the skits that he's doing.
No.
So I'm saying is this is what the fans needed, something to get away from Cody.
Nope.
They didn't need something to get away from Cody?
No, because this is what you fail to like ever acknowledge, and it blows my mind. It goes back to indies and shit like that you give no credit to. Danhausen was a big deal before he ever came to WWE. The fact is, they promoted him poorly that first night, and it took he himself and I to come out there and kill it on that next promo he had. It had nothing to do with them liking him more than Cody. In fact, they think they liked him as much as they liked Cody. The only issue is Danhausen has a fan base that is rabid because he's fucking Danhausen. If you could, you know what? I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to show you something.
I'm saying is the fact of if anybody else could have stepped up in the past 2 years to give something to the crowd other than Cody, where's that been? A simple thing like Danhausen came on and just said, hey, this is what the fans have been waiting for. This is what the fans got. And look at how far they ran away from Cody. When Danhausen now your number one merchandise seller. Where for Cody was it for 2 years. I'm saying is that's all it took was for somebody like a Danhausen.
Yeah, but you even didn't like him at first, and it took him doing
we all agreed. The first night sucked.
I still liked him. No, go ahead and share what I just popped up.
No, what I'm saying is the first night sucked.
I want you to watch this. This is Taz's son in AEW, right? That's Hook, okay? Which I like Hook. I think he's a little undersized, but he's still a badass. I could see him winning a world title. Watch this 29-second video, and I want you to tell me what you think.
Hook, big win for you this past week on Dynamite, but Dan...
Now, is this how you like your powerful chips? Huh? Like that? You're gonna give me a match?
You wanted my attention? You got it now.
Within no context, Hook had never spoken, I believe, up to that point. Never said a word. He was the silent guy who went up there, whooped people's asses, and moved on. Danhausen and him had some interactions, and all you would ever see Hook doing was eating chips. He would just, in the background, him eating chips, this and that, go do his match, whoop somebody's ass, come back, right? In a 28-second video, which I would argue most of the video, if that's 28 seconds, wasn't Danhausen. It was only until about the last 15 was him with a bag of chips and a few words made Hook more impactful and made Danhausen a bigger deal.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm giving Danhausen credit here. To where I'm saying is the WWE fans showed how loyal they were to Cody Rhodes truly. When Danhausen came in, forget about the first night from Monday Night Raw on, and now he's doing the T-shirt gimmick with T-shirt boy and stuff like that. And how quickly they ran.
Right, T-shirt boy.
Right. Well, how quickly they ran away from Cody. And all I'm saying is
it's not that they've run away from Cody. I don't look. The Cody fans have not run to Danhausen. That's not it.
No, I'm not saying they did. I'm saying they ran away from Cody. They were looking for somebody like finally.
No, they weren't. I don't even agree with that because there has been a fatigue with Cody for the longest. Two things can be true at the same time. You can dislike Cody and still like Danhausen no matter what.
Let me ask you this. Did Cody have Hogan syndrome to where without Hogan beating Andre, are the fans tired? I was starting to get tired of him. He beats Andre, that gets a whole new. So what I'm saying is that gives a whole new resurgence to him.
There will never be another situation like that because they don't have a spectacle like Andre. And
no,
they have
what I'm saying is, but Cody's Andre was Roman.
No, Cody's Hogan was not Andre. Was not
Cody's Andre was Roman Reigns.
Roman is not to the same level. He's loved and they like him, but he's not an attraction. He's just people just like him a lot.
Building him as an attraction, no,
because he's a part timer.
That's what I'm saying.
Which
Andre was a part timer too.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, and again, you're getting away from that. Cody fatigue happened because WWE has run the same fucking playbook for all these years. They had Hogan. And they ran him into the fucking ground, being that they say your prayers, eat your vitamins. They don't give, in my opinion, the WWE has followed the same playbook of fuck the fans. We're going to get our guy over and we're going to shove him down your throat so long that we're going to fucking blah, blah, blah. You're going to love our guy. You know why? Because he did it with Hogan. Then they tried to do it with Lex Luger. It didn't fucking work. They did it with Brett. And then they got Brett fatigue. They tried to do it with Shawn. Shawn couldn't, let's call it. Shawn was great in the ring, could not fucking sell out shit. They did it with Diesel, didn't work worth a fucking damn. They started going downhill. WCW came out with something cooler because they listened to the fans and understood. They didn't want Hogan as a good guy. They wanted him as a bad guy. So WCW starts kicking their ass. Vince is the luckiest man in the world because he found two guys, let them be themselves in Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and they carried his company. And what happened when those two guys left? You try to put the company on John Cena. It lasted for a short amount of time, and then it went, and we've been floundering. So then, hold on. So then after the era of John Cena, we start moving into a new era. You start getting the Romans. You started getting, you started with Punk, and they fucked that up. They fucked him off for fucking 10 years. But then you start getting Roman over by himself. And you go on to one of the greatest, if not the greatest storylines of all time because they listened to the fans and they let Joe Anoa'i be himself. Fucking Roman, finally, because they had no choice, similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin, got to do their own thing. Let's not the pandemic saved WWE. Let's not fucking mix words here. AEW came along and that was it. That was going to be the nail in their coffin because AEW showed up and the ratings showed it. You may not want to admit that, and a lot of people don't want to admit that AEW changed the game as far as healthcare, as far as the way you promote stuff.
We've said it before, and we'll say it again on the show. If CM Punk incident doesn't happen, where is WWE right now? Okay? If Cody Rhodes not leaving, where is WWE right now? That's the problem, okay? You got two guys who have been with the company, who came back to the company from the savior of all saviors, okay? And right now, the same stuff people used to complain about WWE doing, that other company is doing with some of their contracts.
I get that, and you can throw your fit all you want, but see, the difference is Tony Khan's holding them to their deals. He's holding them to their contracts. He's not firing them outright and leaving them out without nothing.
Some of these guys probably wish they were fired outright.
They probably do, but you sign a fucking contract. but that's the thing. I'm not going to get mad at Tony Khan for doing. You sign a contract. I'm going to hold you to your contract.
Well, listen, I get that because I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to NFL guys, they do it all the time. They'll hold out. They got a valid contract. Oh, I want to renew my contract. Like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You got a contract for another year.
Okay, so you're going to fulfill your duties. So and again, this is going to be something that maybe people will disagree with. Tony Khan's not firing people early, or he's not doing the same shit that WWE does and does mass firings and cuts people from contracts. He doesn't treat them like independent contractors. He makes them responsible for the deals they signed.
He only signs people who destroy the business. Okay? Who? And say, I'm never working for professional wrestling again because I will never be true to that sport.
That is a great way to transfer into Ronda Rousey. He didn't sign Ronda Rousey. It was a one-time deal, and it was just to put shock and awe. And we didn't get into that. Hold on. We didn't get into it this morning, but there's a reason why. And it wasn't him that did it. Apparently, she approached him. And the reason she approached him is because she's trying to go scorched earth on TKO. She's bitter with the UFC about how they didn't sign the fight between her and Gina Carano, and she's bitter with WWE because of the way the fans turned on her. Here's the issue with Ronda. I don't like Ronda.
Turned on her because of her.
Exactly. I don't like Ronda. I'm not a fan of Ronda. I think that she was a big fish in a small pond. It goes back to the years in male MMA. The Gracies were champions because nobody could handle jiu-jitsu. Well, when Ronda showed up and she was ripping girls' arms off and doing fucking arm bars and jiu-jitsu and judo, no one had an answer for her until this girl named Holly Holm, I think is up near your neck of the woods, or was born in your neck of the woods, kicked her fucking head off and changed the game.
That was like the 31-second match to where
like, no. That was Amanda Nunes who, when she came back after her fucking hiatus for a year, didn't want to do cameras and like was so depressed and thought she was like I look. I say it because I fought. It's a tough business. It very much is a tough business. But you don't get in that business thinking you're going to win every fucking fight. And if you do, you're Khabib Nurmagomedov. But you don't play like you're fucking untouchable because Father Time is always going to win that fight.
Father Time is undefeated. A couple people are tapped out. A couple people kicked out. But Father Time eventually wins.
And I'm not here to knock her. If she wants to go do some business with them, hey, go do some business. Ultimately, that's Tony Khan's decision. But at the end of the day, I think we are commentators. We are not fucking journalists. We are commentators. My commentary on her is that she went over to AEW to be a fucking pain in the ass of WWE because she's still bitter about how they treated her. They didn't do shit wrong to her. She thought she was going to be the golden girl and she was never going to lose and whatever, in my opinion. Much like a Sasha Banks thought. And good for Sasha. She's going back and she's dropping all these belts. But again, a lot of this stuff is personal and self-motivated. Don't put that on a company who's going to take an opportunity.
You know what you just said, though? And I want you to hear. But you sign a contract stating you're going to do things a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay? But because they don't go your way, in a scripted world, that's like signing up to do a movie and you don't like the script.
No, okay. No. So if you're talking, are you talking about Mercedes or are you talking about Ronda at this point?
All around, you get paid.
I have to retract something I said many years ago when we talked about Mercedes leaving and when she was Sasha Banks, her and Naomi leaving. Because I didn't know this until recently because I'm stupid and I didn't pay attention. It wasn't Vince that she was mad about. It was Johnny Ace. And that piece of shit.
Oh, no, hey.
No. Look,
here. that guy would flip screws on his own mother if it meant him getting over. And so, no argument here. All right?
For her to go into his office, throw that belt on his desk and say, go fuck yourself, Johnny, I don't give a shit. Good for her.
And you know, a lot of times, and some people don't understand this. A lot of times, Vince didn't realize a lot of this shit had happened until the guys were already gone.
Oh, don't you start defending that guy.
No. I'm just saying, in the Jim Ross era, there were times he didn't know until they were.
I don't believe that for a second, because I think if it went on in the ring, he knew about it because he was always there at Gorilla.
No, listen, he was notorious for standing there when you got through Gorilla. Notorious.
So you're going to tell me he didn't know what was going on? He didn't know they were upset?
What you do before you get out to the ring, because the unwritten rule with Vince is you don't take your union business out to the ring. Keep it behind the scenes.
They didn't. They dropped the belts like they were asked to.
That's what I'm saying. But you don't do it. You don't go into business for yourself in the ring.
They didn't.
Behind the curtain.
They didn't, and they did behind the curtain. They went over there. They took Johnny Ace's dad to office, threw the fucking belts down, and said, "Go fuck yourself."
They walked out the door. I'm saying is, did they talk to Vince before they went and saw Johnny Ace?
What's the point talking to him? He doesn't listen unless it's something he wants. No, he was still there when Sasha Banks left and Bianca and Naomi were there and they left. Vince was still there.
No, he was still there. But I'm saying is, did they talk to him first, or did they not even talk to him at all? Because I'll tell you this right now.
Okay. So you can say it all you want, but we've had enough people who you've even said are credible sources say that guy just wanted everybody to treat him like he was their dad, the old man who's their buddy, and then the guys that didn't, like a CM Punk back in the day, who treated him like, "Hey, you're just fucking Vince. I got a dad. You're not my fucking dad. You're my boss." How'd that work out for him in his first run?
I get it, but here's my other thing too: is how many guys, and I don't know if you want to agree with this or not, would blame him, even though it wasn't him.
He was the boss.
No. I'm saying to you is, we all have bosses. Like I got a big boss.
So, yeah.
Listen. I got to see 4 other bosses before I get to my big boss. What if one of these other 4 pissed me off so much I don't even get to the big boss and I'm out the door, and I get the big boss calling me at home saying, "Hey, what the frick happened?"
Go ahead.
I did trying to find my words. We're talking about a man who was a control freak to the level of he shaved consistently because he couldn't control the growth of his hair. He didn't like people coughing in front of him because it was a lack of control. You can't tell me that person doesn't know what's going on in his company 24/7.
I'm just saying, coughing or sneezing.
Now, to that regard, we've had discussions about other things. And I think he knew what was going on with that stuff. And if he knew if something was wrong, he would have absolutely dealt with it. So there's things that you and I agree with as far as
somebody
that.
bring up to me today, they were watching the Netflix thing, right? And the part of that Netflix thing that always got to me is when he said, "I got stories I could tell you, but I'm not going to get into those." Tell me if I'm wrong to where everybody would want to hear those stories. What can you tell us?
I don't want to hear for me, the equivalent of his life and his stories. For me, I'm not saying for anybody else. For me, he is no different with his stories than anything that they find comes back from that fucking island with that degenerate Epstein.
Listen, I know you probably know about this. What we've heard about the past 4 days about this Cesar Chavez out there in California, about how they want. He's had allegations claimed against him. Okay. So far, none of them have been found to be true. But Cesar Chavez is dead. They're renaming everything. They've already said, so March 31st was supposed to be Cesar Chavez Day. They're turning into the Farm Workers Day or something like that. Just because one of his former housekeepers or something like that came out and said he sexually assaulted her. To start saying stuff like that when somebody hasn't even been found guilty of anything, but because he's dead, you can't find him guilty of anything. He's dead.
Okay, and we've had this argument before. He's the man we're talking about. So leave fucking Cesar Chavez. I'm not talking about Cesar Chavez. I'm talking about a man who's still alive who called himself a dumbass for driving 100 fucking miles down the road like an idiot. I'm talking about a guy who I agree with you very adamantly that this whole court case about him and that I'll just say that woman is horse shit, because if he did all these things, she should have taken his ass.
Court cases are horse shit.
Some of them are. And there are things I agree with you. But there are things, and there's two things can be true at the same time. He can be innocent of some shit, but I would say that Ashley Mazzaro, Nancy Argentina, and to some regard, Rita fucking Chatterton have fucking ground to stand on.
I'm willing to say, okay, there's only so many cards you can throw against the wall that's gonna fall. Some of them are gonna stick. What story's behind the ones that sticks are behind those cards, though.
He's a piece of shit. And
listen, I'm just saying to you is, do I believe he's innocent of everything in his life? Hell no. You don't get this much shit thrown at you, and you're innocent of everything.
Okay, so let's go back to the actual topic we were talking about. And when it came down to being a control freak and being a boss and being a fucking human being and having some human decency with these people that you want to treat them like they're your kids and your big dad and he's like a father to me. If you sucked them off, hypothetically, if you fucking kissed his ass, hypothetically, if you did all this other shit for him, he loved you. Hey, Hogan. Hey, fucking Mark Calloway, Undertaker. Hey, Steve Austin. Because you know what? I go, hold on.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know about you, but I work for a company that if you did all that, you could still be the first one fired.
That's great. But this was his company. Right. And no one's going to tell me that. Now, you can go to Tony Khan and you can say that Tony Khan is a little bit fucking eccentric. You can make jokes about him being on Adderall. You can say he's doing fucking some sort of white substance behind the scenes because he's all jacked up and animated all the time. Joking aside, you'll never find anybody other than maybe Cody Rhodes who says anything bad about him. They may have said stuff bad about some of the other wrestlers. They may have said that the things weren't run properly, but you have a guy who's being a decent fucking human being and taking care of his people.
So I have a theory about why you don't say nothing bad. And that theory
is it going to be an NDA?
No.
Because we know somebody who's a master of NDAs.
No. Because the old proverb of never say never. You never know if you need to go back and you don't want to burn that bridge. Okay.
So then why do they say so much bad shit about the WWE during his era?
People didn't care. Because you know why? Because put it this way, in a minute, some of these guys, when they leave, in a minute, they'd be taken back if they were available. No matter what they say. Because why? What do? Put asses in seats. And
you know what? Andrade, El Idolo.
I'm not even going to go with this one.
Hold on.
Because if you start praising him, especially when he's had issues with women.
What issues? What issues did Andrade have?
Didn't him and Charlotte get into something?
They got a divorce. It was amicable.
Right. No, I thought it was because of.
No, they whenever their time apart, and they did. She has never said anything bad about him, and he has never said anything bad about her. And she's gonna, you looking it up? Yeah. Now, if you're talking about the other Alberto, yeah.
Hey, I'm like the Bachelorette there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
So what I'm saying is, he left WWE on good terms, went over to AEW, allegedly punched somebody in the fucking face, went back to WWE, and then went back to AEW. So you're right. Anything can happen on both sides, but they're still not saying anything bad about AEW. The only thing that even Cody, after everything that's happened with him, the Young Bucks, and fucking Tony, he said, the only thing that really bothered me.
He's taking the high road. Cody has taken the high road in this.
Absolutely. But he said that his biggest issue was he did not get the credit he felt he deserved. And I get that. I get leaving someplace because you don't feel appreciated. I am 100% on his side.
Has he ever? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's one guy who every now and then discredits him. I understand it's part of a storyline.
Who?
But you know what? MJF every now and then
would it's a fucking, but it's a jab. It's a jab.
It's right. But I'm just saying to you like this is.
You find anything?
How does somebody say it? My little independent show where I sold out the Madison Square Garden and nobody ever thought I would do it.
Yeah.
I don't think any independent show has ever sold out Madison Square Garden since.
So you can kiss his ass all you want, but if it wasn't for Cody, there would be no AEW.
I'd be okay with that.
What you got?
I'm just
hold on. Here we go.
So Charlotte Flair and Andrade separated and finalized their divorce in October 2024. Despite their separation, they have remained cordial, with Andrade taking responsibility for the split and expressing high respect for her. He indicated the marriage faced problems while Flair was recovering from a serious knee injury, saying, quote, "I admit it, as a person and as a man, I was the one who failed in the relationship." He denied rumors that she was responsible for his AEW WWE departure. Post breakup, despite the divorce, Andrade has made tributes to her, including using her figure eight move on AEW Dynamite in early 2026, indicating there are no major hard feelings.
I would put it to you like this.
You're trying to jump on him because he's Mexican, weren't you? You're trying to hate on him because he was Mexican.
Does she look like she's in the best shape of her life right now?
She looks happy.
Yep. She looks like she's in the best shape and she's having the most fun.
I think it took a toll on her because I think, okay, if I'm speculating, okay, and this is just me speculating, that from what I hear, from what was said there, I felt like maybe he may have strayed a bit, he may have cheated or something like that. That could have happened, but that is between him and her. But as far as domestic violence, I don't see anything because if there was some domestic violence involved, there wouldn't be the respect that they have right now with each other.
It's okay to respect your exes. not much
But
around.
see, you were so quick to say that he had done something to her.
I said, was anything ever came out? That's all I asked.
No, nothing. Now, again, it goes back to my issue. CM Punk left AEW. It was a very touted thing that happened and called it Brawl Out and all the other shit that happened with Jungle Boy and all that. Okay. CM Punk has also said he never, even when he went on Ariel Helwani and gave an hour or plus of his time to talk to Ariel Helwani about the whole situation, said he likes Tony Khan. He thinks Tony Khan's the nicest guy in the world. He's just doesn't think that Tony was basically had the hammer to put down to put these guys in check. Any issue that they ever had in AEW was because of conflicts between the fucking talent. It had nothing to do with his leadership, nothing to do with the way he spent money, nothing to do with anything with Tony. Now, flip that. You go back to WWE, and during the time when they were fucking, well, what did Tony Khan call it? Like the, I can't remember. He called it some shit. He was joking about it, talking shit about WWE. Every big issue that was a scandal. Old Spike, old Polly, Uncle Polly was fucking the guy who was responsible with his fucking goofy haircut. Every time. Because he can't have his name in the fucking news enough. You got this girl to do this, you harassed somebody this, you fired somebody for this. Find me one scandal that Tony Khan is directly linked with in AEW, because you can't.
Well, wait a minute. I'm glad you bring it up.
Please do.
We had an incident this week with Ricochet.
That has nothing to do with Tony.
Wait a minute, hold on. Just so that way it wouldn't bring attention to AEW, they agreed with his apology because they didn't want unwanted attention brought.
Who said that?
I read it online the other day. Okay.
So, Rick, do you know the whole thing that happened?
About how he made fun of some woman with because
he did not make fun. He did not make fun of some with MS. Would you like me to tell you what happened?
From what I'm hearing, a woman commented on him, and he said, and he actually researched this woman and found out she had MS.
Are you ready?
I researched.
Are you ready? You ready to hear what really went down? Someone made a comment about him, and I'm not agreeing with Ricochet. I'm not a Ricochet fan. He looked on her Twitter. She talked about having MS. It wasn't research. She looked on her fucking Twitter. So please be very, very clear, because there are some people in the IWC and the internet wrestling community that absolutely say that they're journalists. Remember, we've talked about this. There are some journalists out there. One from the Panhandle is a piece of shit. How's that channel working out for you? Anyway, he looked at her thing. He found out she had MS, made a fucking shitty comment, and it was bad and it was wrong. He should have met her. Then he made a secondary comment. He brought up the fact that his wife and him have constantly received death threats. But then, after probably talking to somebody, is it Tony? Is it somebody else? Fuck, I don't know. But somebody, cooler heads prevailed, and he came out and said, you know what? I was wrong. And I apologize for what I said. I hope that you can forgive me. He was the adult after that. He did something stupid. He owned it and moved on. If this woman, whoever it was, still is upset, cool, that she has every right to be.
You know,
but how does that have anything to do with Tony Khan?
Okay, something else came up this week again too. Another incident with Sasha Banks.
Okay.
Mercedes Moné. where another indie troll posted something of her being held up by a guy, and she made the comment of, he ate my blank. Now, when I see this, as a dude, as a man, I say, if it had been any other woman in the world, I would not care. But when somebody's posting something like this about a professional athlete, any woman professional athlete being held up by a man on the shoulders reversed, where her junk is in the guy's face, and they made it look like she was saying this, and she came out and called out this specific person to where it does not belong on the internet. For people who want to support stuff like this, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
So you're saying that she said that?
Yeah, she's saying this.
Okay. So this is the
What
same.
I'm going to say to you is, this is probably the first time I'll ever agree with her until she started saying, you want to see more of a response? Log into my channel and I'll have a more response.
So what's wrong with that? She's hustling.
That's what it's like. Don't come out and slamming it, and then on the other hand, ask for people to log into your channel.
Hey, that's how she's profiting from somebody else's stupidity. It's what we look. We are wrestling fans that they profit off our stupidity every fucking day.
But what I'm just saying is the fact of the person who put this out there deserves to be taken offline for good, because there's no place like, if you want to make jokes and comments and stuff like that on a chat or something, but when you put
I'm not gonna criticize her at all, because she's also was in a match with Toni Storm, where after the match, Toni Storm, after biting her and kissing her and all the others during the match, went into a press conference and said, "Mercedes, your lips tasted wonderful, both sets."
But I'm just, women on women is one thing, but when you got a dude saying it,
no. If you're gonna talk shit, we have to. We're all about equality around this motherfucker. Then you need to criticize her too.
Well, no, because she, like I said, the picture that was put online, I don't know if you guys can find it, where she says, she supposedly said, he ate my blank.
Okay. He's saying that Mercedes Moné made a comment about some guy eating her
junk.
Clam.
Yeah. And I'm saying is, how she went about handling it, I think it was the right way. Slamming
so then wait, why do you, okay, we are having a discussion about,
like I just said to you, but I'm saying is, what I read is the fact of she slams it, and then at the end of it puts on, if you
okay, so how is that? Again, we're talking about Vince and we're talking about Tony. How does that have anything to do with Tony?
I'm saying is, it's not all, how can I say, people are just shying away from this. There are things going on with his performers.
There were things going on with Vince's performers, but
Vince,
we got
another one.
Tony wasn't the one overshadowing everybody. Vince had to be in the mix. It was always him doing stupid shit.
Let's talk about what happened this week, where somebody got fined because he released backstage footage.
Okay, but what does that have to do with what we're talking about? You always do this. I swear you always do this.
What I'm saying to you is this.
No, I'm going to cut you off. What I'm going to say is, every time we have a discussion, you always find a way to deflect to something else when you know damn well you are losing that argument. We were talking about Vince. We were talking about Tony. And I'm going to tell you right now that Tony runs a cleaner shop. And instead of just saying, you know what? You've made valid points. You're right. Tony runs a cleaner shop.
I'm saying behind the scenes lately, it seems like they're all getting worried about social media.
Who? Because there was no worry about Ricochet. No one I didn't even hear about this Mercedes thing. No one's mentioned that, and I watch all the dirt sheets to try to keep up for this show. I did hear about the Tama Tonga thing. I did hear about him recording.
I'm like saying, have we become in the wrestling world so soft that silly stuff like this?
Yes. Yeah. The short answer, yes, we absolutely have. But you're not going to tell me, because you can sit here and praise that fucking WWE banner all day long. WWE is not running as good a show, and WWE is not running as good a business.
I'm not saying, but my question was, have we become so soft behind the scenes now to where every little thing nowadays that the performers now are attacking the fans? Because I'll tell you this right now, back in our day when I was younger, you attacked the wrestlers, they'd find a way to get
I would
back.
argue that there's more of a brothers and sisterhood in AEW than there ever has been in WWE in years. And the reason I say that is because they're taking care of each other. If it was as such in WWE, that you think that Tama Tonga thing would have happened. If they knew he was doing that, because you're not going to tell me that his clique of guys didn't know he did that. They wouldn't have said, bro, you don't need to do that shit. You don't need to do that shit. You don't need to do that shit.
And I'm saying, I think
the counter to that is you have fucking like Ricochet, and someone clearly wouldn't talk to him and said, brother, that's not a good look.
Let me ask you this, and this is for speculation purposes. Before the internet, and you only had the dirt sheets, if something like that was to happen, hell with it before the internet, even with the internet. If it had been a different person who was in a heel, much better heel road than Ricochet, does either company or any company run with that storyline? Or do you think that's too sensitive of something? Because I'll tell you this right now.
I would argue that to some level MGF does it on a regular basis.
Right. I was going to say is you can have MS and nobody even knows you have it unless you tell them you have it. Okay.
But this person took it upon themselves. No. And again, I'm not defending her. Okay. No. I'm not defending him. And I'm not trying to attack her, but I'm going to make it very clear. It's not like, and I don't like the shroud that you put this over, that he went and got her information. That's not what happened. He went onto her Twitter.
I'm saying
she put it out there, which is her right. I'm not judging her. She put her information out there on Twitter. She then made a derogatory comment towards him. He, in return, read her Twitter. He, in return, learned this about her and made a comment. Which is it right? No. But the fact of the matter is he should be the bigger man.
Above that. He's got to be above it.
He's got to be above it. But the fact is, for someone to sit here and say, oh, he went after her, and I don't like that shroud that you put over that of he researched her. No, he went and looked at her fucking Twitter.
I'm telling you, that's what I heard in on the report.
All she did was write that his acting hasn't gotten any better.
Right.
And so, yeah, he went to her Twitter and she had a post on there about something in regard to her MS journey, or there was some sort of gathering. And he just wrote, I'm glad you got MS. But I'm curious because when I heard that, I was like, well, is he just playing the part? I mean, how is that different than MJF looking at a kid in a wheelchair and going, look what I can do, and jumping? Like, there's a line that if you're working heel, that it doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. In this day and age of social media and fan-to-fan interaction, that character extends beyond. So my first thought was he's playing the heel.
That's where I was getting at. Exactly what I'm getting at. And my thought process on that is, what is the difference between him and MJF? Do I think it's in bad taste? Maybe a little bit.
One put asses in the seats, the other one doesn't.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think that.
Oh no, it is that.
No, I think that there's something to be said about people don't like Ricochet. Right?
Yeah, he's just unlikable.
He's just an unlikable guy, and I think that he's in a position.
The most popular one in his family.
Well, what I'm saying is, I like Ricochet. I like him as a performer. I loved him in WWE. We got to see him live many years ago. You remember that? Like, he was amazing. Very fan orientated. Like, he makes a wonderful baby face. He really does. But I think that he made a comment. He's not in a place where he can, because that's not been his character to say stuff like that. MJF from he actually married Tits McGee, by the way. Remember that promo I showed you?
Yes, he did.
So this is a little bit off topic, but everybody knows MJF recently got married. The woman he married interviewed him years ago, and she basically started the interview. Goes, "I'm here with MJF." And he goes, "And I'm here with Tits McGee." All these years later, they are married. Like, he even said,
actually interviewed for AEW anyway.
No, it was another indie promotion that I think it was MLW, but anyway, Ricochet. I think he took it too far when he added the extra. If he made a fucking shitty comment, fine. But it was the extra that he added of all these people come after me, and if I make a comment, blah, 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 blah. And he ran with it, which I think that was probably, if he fucking said something along the lines of, wait a minute, y'all need to understand the difference between working and working. And she made a comment no different than somebody else who plays a character. I made a comment in retaliation. But we have become, like you said, we have become a bit soft in this little bubble.
Ric Flair, Rick Rude, and MJF. Two of those guys made a living off insulting people.
You can Rick Rude all you want. Ric Flair is fucking falling down the toilet and become a piece of shit.
And I'm just saying the fact of, in the internet age, if these two had the internet age when they were going through, they would not have lasted nearly as long as they did.
Why? Because they would have found out that Rick Rude was an amazing family man?
Probably. And what I'm saying is, though, because some of your best heels will go like this. Piper was a great family man. But does Piper go over does he go over as the heel that he was if people find out he loves his family?
Probably not.
No.
Does
MJF
Rick, no, but again, MJF.
He could give a shit about your family and his.
No, but that's the thing. That's because he has you believing that character.
Right. Because he lives it.
No.
He lives that character.
No. This is where you're wrong. They've done interviews with John Cena. They've done interviews with Punk. And they subtly leak out little details where they say, by far one of the most talented guys I've ever worked with. Amazing human being. They said positive things about MJF. Because everybody knows that MJF, yes, he's a fucking prick on the mic. Yes, he's a horrible monster.
Promoter. He's shamelessly self-promoted.
But they say this in the same caveat. Everyone says how great a guy he is outside. So yes, he does live the gimmick. He always treats it as if the camera's on. But when those cameras are off and he is talking to people, consensus.
You say me of the person to where, let's just say, you're, and I know I'm trying to put words.
No one held to a gimmick better than MJF than the Undertaker. No, I'll put it that way.
Would you say MJF is the kind of guy? So let's just say he's out with dinner with his wife, and you went over for an autograph with him. Wait for him to call you over. Don't go shove it in his face. To where
I think he would talk shit to you, but I think ultimately, hold on. He was talking to somebody, and he was kind of breaking the fourth wall, talking about his wife and how happy. He talked about how they first met, the whole Tits McGee thing, and he said she's the only one who could put up with me because she's the only one who knows me. And I truly, like, when we're talking now, and I'm thinking we gotta get a fan for this fucking room. It's getting hot. But I think the reason behind it is because she knows that if anybody approaches them in public, that MJF comes out. Max is gone, and MJF has to come out. And so I think
he can flip that switch.
Yes.
There's a lot of performers in the world who forget how to flip.
Well, there's something to be said about you and me. You and I, some people would think we hate each other. Like Jacob once thought, oh my God, the show's going to be over because you and I are going back and forth. And we get very heated because we talk about this stuff. But if you turn off this camera and it's just you and me talking, you're one of my closest friends and I love talking to you. We shit talk. You bust my balls because I sleep, because I work so fucking much. I'm exhausted because of my shoulder and all the shit that's going on in the back life. But you're one of my closest friends. If you watch us jumps on here, you think we fucking hate each other. That's the gimmick.
Well, put it like this, okay? And we can say this, for being around the business almost 40 years, I can say it's not like that in every locker room.
No.
You have competitive.
Not anymore, I don't think.
I still believe you do, because everybody always wants that top spot, because what does the top spot do? It pays the most money.
But that's the thing. I don't think there is a top spot anymore. They have a guy that they anoint as the man, and they try to push that motherfucker to the top.
I'm saying is, that top spot guy still makes the most money.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that everybody wants to be that, but there's other avenues to get there. There's
there is no that doesn't work for me, brother, anymore. But
no. But what I'm saying is I think there's avenues to get paid that they didn't have before.
And you know what?
Hear me out.
And one of those avenues is, look at that guy right there that we mentioned earlier.
That's what I was going to say.
Look at him.
I think that Danhausen's going to hold the world heavyweight title at any point in time? No. But he's going to make more money than anybody there because he can sell himself. Yes.
And like I said, once they can find a way
you can go back to the 80s. T-shirts and fucking merchandise other than the fucking the wrestling buddies, there wasn't shit going on.
Like I said, you had a mind doll, a little small baby gorilla with a green belly. that sold out. Okay? You had the demolition mass. The thing was, you had the simplest. Now, when I say simplest, they were the simplest merch that you could buy. What I think they're going to do, what they need to do today is, like I said, this thing where I want the float, or I want the blimp.
I want the blimp. Okay.
I want the blimp.
They did give him a cannon.
If they could find a way to get a blimp.
There's a guy who could sell merchandise and nobody really understood. He sold shirts better than almost Dan hasn't. And you see that picture right there?
Yep.
Can you see who that is?
That Bray Wyatt?
That's Bray Wyatt, and there's his hat right there. Right there is the Fiend and Bray Wyatt sitting in a rocking chair. Okay.
And by the way, you got a brand new house and your AC don't work in that room?
It's all the equipment. It's all the fun equipment. It's just hot. Well, okay, because like if you look, she has 2 screens on that side. I have 2 screens on this side. I have a giant fucking tower down there.
Okay.
She has a giant tower down there. So and then we got mics and all this other shit. You've seen our setup. Others don't. Other people haven't seen our setup. But what I'm saying is, merchandise is a thing. You know, this isn't this is not the fucking era of fucking AWA where you had Rock and Roll Buck Zumaha and the High Flyers coming out and they're like, here's my shirt. Nobody gave a fuck. You know, and I'll give Hogan credit for that.
Listen, merchandise in all forms of professional wrestling right now is a money maker. It's the difference between staying afloat and closing your door.
So I would say the WWE makes great money on their merchandise, even though the quality has gone down. Ever since they went to fucking Fanatics, their shit has gone to the trash.
And AEW probably makes good money with better quality.
Yes, and the reason they make better
one makes good money with great money.
So here's why. Here's why I would say that AEW and just talking about the merchandise aspect of it, they use Pro Wrestling Tees. Pro Wrestling Tees takes a small percentage, but they're also getting the benefit of a mainstream wrestling company promoting them. So I'm pretty sure they're going to cut and save a lot of money just because they're getting so much fucking business because of AEW. They'll make about 10% on a shirt, but the rest of the money is going to go to either the wrestler or it's going to go to the fucking, and I think that's a good deal for them. The issue is that WWE has cut so many corners that it's become noticeable. Ticket prices through the roof, shirt quality, fucking trash. Now I'm gonna ask you because I recently got you that Tony Storm shirt, right? You love that Tony Storm shirt, right? Okay. You also love your AJ Lee shirt, right? Which is better quality? Exactly.
And they're probably from the same manufacturer.
No. The Tony Storm, like this is a Moxley shirt. I love John Moxley. I like the character, whatever. Better fucking quality, hands down. It doesn't feel like a fucking piece of paper.
I haven't gotten a wrestling shirt and
that's the thing. I trust the quality of AEW because I truly feel, and this isn't me just like arguing with you for the sake of argument. Remember, whenever they decided that they were going to fucking pull the shit with Hogan, and again, I'm not saying I'm a Hogan fan. I have to acknowledge what he's done for the business. But when AEW did not even give him the time of day to say, hey, this guy is the reason we're even in business, or there's even a wrestling fucking business to have, is because of Hulk Hogan, and they gave him fucking. I was done with AEW.
You know, I'm glad you say something like that because when you look at it as a whole, not only did he change the business for the better in the ring, the guy's paychecks went up,
and I'm with that. But he also those paychecks went up, Gerard. But it wasn't.
The merchandise sales went through the freaking roof, which he created. By them having Hogan, it created a whole different way of how merchandise was even sold. They had to put a section in their WWF magazine just for merchandise now because the way they were selling stuff for Hogan, everybody wanted to jump on that.
You know what, you do this a lot. I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to pull a you right now and ask you a question. I have the opinion that Hulk Hogan was bitter and he was very jaded about his merchandise sales. And I don't think so. Yes, their money went up because of merchandise. Their paychecks went up because of Hogan. But I always believe that he did it for him. He didn't give a fuck about anybody else in that locker room but him. That's my opinion. And that's fine. Now I'm going to ask you this. Do you think that he was like that, if you do believe that with me, because of what Vern Gagne did to him when he was in AWA?
I saw certain aspects of Hogan that he protected the locker room for everybody, not just for Hogan.
Then why don't they have a union, Gerard?
Let me finish.
Okay.
When I say protected, I mean protected in a way of, if you were on the card with Hogan, he wanted to make sure everybody in that room got paid. Keywords, on the card with Hogan.
Okay.
So if there was 2 shows running, he didn't care about the B show.
Okay.
He cared about his show, and what I'm saying is, like I've said before, and I'm going to say again, if you were sick and you wanted to work in the ring on a Hogan show, you better not get in that ring before Hogan or after Hogan, because he didn't want anybody else to catch whatever you got.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
in that position.
Okay, and I get what you're saying there. He cared about him on his nights in his ring.
No, like I said, he cared about the guys on his show.
You have gone on record of stated that you work a union job.
Yes.
You love your union job.
Oh, yeah.
You love the fact that you have a union to protect you in case the fucking bosses try to fuck you.
Yes.
Why is it good enough for you, but it's not good enough for guys? And you know this because you've taken bumps before who fall on their back every fucking day and hurt themselves for your entertainment.
And you know what? I'm glad you asked me this question, because I want everybody to hear this. I have spoken to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters president on this issue when it comes to professional wrestlers.
Okay.
I asked him, why can't we get them to unionize? And his answer to me was, we've tried to. But because they're all independent contractors, they all have their own agendas.
A what?
They all have their own agendas.
They're what? A what now?
Agendas.
Agendas?
They all have their own agendas. Okay.
So are you saying that John Cena had his own agenda too?
His own agenda. So by unionizing, they couldn't take all their own agendas into play. Now, now my question to that was this: like, wait a minute, hold on. All the other 4 major sports, they all have the same healthcare, pension, and all that stuff, but nobody makes the same money. So why couldn't they just follow those rules? But he said that's the reason why they haven't unionized. Is the reason that UFC hasn't unionized, because of this. In fact, when it comes down to it, they're all independent contractors. They all have their own agendas, and none of them want to basically get paid what their counterparts get paid.
Let me ask you, you know more about the union than I do. If Tony Khan, you know what? I don't think people realize how much, like, AEW is never going out of business, no matter how many people want to wish that on the world, which I don't like that idea. I like the fact that you have an alternative, right? If
he has too much money invested at this point.
No. What I'm saying is, it has nothing to do with being invested. They are stupid rich. Because it came out recently, and your favorite person in the world, Brandon Thurston, put it out there. AEW bid on WWE.
Yes, okay? He did.
Do you understand what that means?
Yep.
That the Khan family could wipe their ass and could have bought and sold WWE.
Yep.
So AEW, it's not about money.
And then you would have had exactly what happened with WCW.
A monopoly?
Yep.
What I'm saying is this.
I mean, you still end up with one, because I'll tell you, hey, real quick, it doesn't say this. It doesn't say no other sale is ever off the table. I think we're going to see another one soon.
You think that TKO is going to dump it?
Yes.
even though it's their
now,
money.
it might be to a Saudi Arabian
But
conglomerate.
would you say that because they're making that's what's making their money. TKO is making more of their money from WWE right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to sell it because you know what? They're going to look at it and say, why don't we just dump it, make our money, leave, let everybody else deal with it. Because Dana White can only go on so long too.
Dana White's not in charge of anything WWE. He's only with the UFC.
Right, but it's all part of the same thing.
I understand that, but it's not. He has nothing to do. He has nothing to do with the WWE.
But UFC is bleeding WWE money because UFC
Absolutely
ain't making money.
Not like it used to. No.
So I'm saying to you is, if it wasn't for WWE, where would TKO be?
This is what I'm getting at. If we're talking about unionizing, what if Tony Khan said, you know what? Because Tony, in my opinion, he treats them more like they're part of they work for him. They're not independent contractors. But he allows them to go do the things. If they want to go do a separate project, he allows them to go do it.
The problem is when they do that separate project, they don't promote the fact that they're
big fucking deal. He lets them go do that. He gives them that freedom to have their Twitches, to have their fucking OnlyFans, or whatever. Okay. So what I'm saying is, this man who has all this money, what if he decided to unionize? What would stop him? How?
How much does he want to contribute?
No, what I'm saying is, if the
union, so the upfront cost on a union, honestly, is the hardest part. The upfront cost. So you go in and you say, okay, we're going to start this union and stuff like that, and the first thing a union is going to say to you is, okay, pension costs. We need a contribution right off the start. Now we can hold. None of you guys can retire for 5 years before they get their pension. So in the next 5 years, we expect you to contribute yada, yada, yada money. Okay. Let's just say it's $500 million. Next 5 years, you got to contribute $500 million to union costs. Then guys can start retiring. And what they're going to make is their bottom scale as retirement. So let's just say you're making $1 million. Okay. How many years you're in? You're in 10 years. Okay. In retirement, you're going to get $25,000 a month. How many guys jump on that? So now you got to look at it the long term and saying, okay, now how many guys, because wrestlers have to pay into it now. So how much are we going to take out of your paycheck?
But then you work that out, because you say they put down in the system of it, if you choose to retire through the union, you can no longer take that. Your benefits are cut off from that, and you have to start back, because you can't cheat the system. And I wrestled and I retired after 5 years and I got this much money. Well, no.
Think about it like this. No, because remember one thing, and I'll give you the perfect example. Major sports, there are 4 major sports in America. Let's just say the National Football League. Let's say a player retires, he gets $25,000 a month. Once he retires, in union job, when you get that first union paycheck, that first pension check, you cannot any longer work for another union job. You can go be the greeter at Walmart, but you cannot collect any check from another union job. Okay? Now, keywords there. So if you leave AEW collecting your pension, you go to WWE, who's not union, you can keep collecting that union check, your pension check, and work.
Is there verbiage you could put in that to say that you can't go work for WWE once you've retired from the AEW?
That would have to be something that works out. But the keywords are always you cannot.
But it is a possibility.
Yes, because the keyword would have to be you cannot work for another union job. Now, if you say you cannot
work for another wrestling promotion,
professional wrestling promotion,
yeah,
that would be the key words that you'd have to throw in there. But once you collect that first check,
and the reason I bring that up is because Lloyd's of London had that fucking issue with Bret Hart and
Mr. Perfect,
and they tried to take his money back, because he got back into a wrestling ring. So does that mean, okay, you lied to us, you got this pension from us, now you're going to pay us back because you lied and you went to go work for the WWE?
First of all, Like I said, the one for Perfect, it actually was negotiated so he could get his money, his back. The thing with that is, though, so let's just say you go back. You collected your money, you go back. Now you get hurt again. You think you're being insured again? No. You'll never get another insurance carrier to hold you again because we've already paid you out. Lloyd's of London ain't touching you again. So you can get back into your first match, blow your back out again, and you are done garbage. Or you got to pay that astronomical insurance fee, just like Ohio Valley Wrestling is going to have to pay an astronomical insurance fee now. You know, your insurance fee is going to go up. You want to take the chance and then go right ahead. But I'm just saying is the fact that these guys and girls are coming into an era to where the resistance of unionization. Congratulations to the WNBA for just getting a new contract done, where all these women's pay is going to go up. They're not going to be in the ballpark of the men.
Thank you, Caitlin Clark.
They're not going to be in the ballpark of the men. Okay, but they're allowed to make more money. I totally agree with that. And you know, when you look at their numbers as a whole, everything is on the up. So it was justified. In professional wrestling, you have your highs, you have your lows. Is right now the time for people to get on that unionization bandwagon? Absolutely. And I say that because you're on your mids right now. You're not on a high. You're not on a low. You're on a mid.
Well, speaking of highs and lows, we did finally see the second round of CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And they went a route that I didn't think they would go, but I enjoyed it. I want to know your opinion. So everybody thought that Roman was going to go after Larry the fucking dog, right? And it's a tragedy. That's his fucking dog. He loves that dog. He didn't go after that. He goes after what I go after on you every fucking week, that he's old as dirt. And, you know, everybody knows Gerard played fucking pool with Jesus back in the day when he was born. So I was wondering, do you like the way, what's going on, Chains? What did you think? Did you like the idea of Punk getting hit with being old as shit?
What I liked about that segment was this. It took its time. They didn't rush it. Okay. Yeah. They let it form. They let the audience soak it in. It came across as organic. I don't know if any two guys could have got that promo over.
But what I'm saying is they went a route, Gerard, that nobody would have thought they would have gone. Think about this. That's what
I'm trying to say is, I'm saying they did a good old-fashioned promo to where they didn't rush it.
No, but Gerard, let's think about this. Everybody could say, well, you left the business, you left this, or he could have gone after his fucking dog, or he can gone after fucking that AJ Lee is more popular than him, or that he can't wrestle. No. They went a route that I never
go after his age.
I never thought they would have gone after his fucking age. That fucking brilliant.
And that's what I'm saying to you is, in the potato that Punk put on.
Oh, yeah. And then you have Roman laying on his ass laughing.
Like, whoever thought of it, brilliant. It's an old school fashion promo. And did it hit all its marks? Most of them.
Does it keep you interested?
It makes you interested in what's
next. Does it keep, because you're jaded as fuck. Does it keep you, a jaded wrestling fan, much like myself, interested in the build-up for this match?
Does it, like I said, does it make me want to watch what happens next? Yes.
Okay. Now, that being said, has it changed who you? Does it change who you want to see win that? Because I believe, weren't you on the Punk bandwagon?
Yes.
I'm on the Roman bandwagon. I want Roman to win even more now. Is it because you're old?
Nope. Because I don't know what Roman we're going to get if he wins. Do we get the one that shows up once every 3 months? Or that's the only reason why I want Punk to win. I don't want Roman winning, and he shows up once every 3 months.
I don't mind it if they do a good Intercontinental fucking title run.
And right now, I'm not sure about that.
Why? Because Penta's wrestling every fucking week with that belt.
No, what I'm saying is the fact of you deserve to have your champion every week or every other week. With the news coming out recently about Breakker could be back for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The outside skirt of Bronson Reed being back for WrestleMania.
Okay. So that being said, there's another member of that Vision who's like parallel to the Vision. We saw someone else, and I called it. I said it was going to happen. I'm all for it. How do you feel about the ruler? Because you text me, Oba. I felt for the first time that you were on the Oba bandwagon.
Oba Femi did not make that segment, though.
Who made that fucking segment then?
Brock made that segment.
I get that Brock had to sell it, but
Brock Lesnar made the segment.
did you not hear that crowd? When
I'm saying, but if Brock fucks up at all, if he does not bounce the right way so Oba Femi can lift him up, that comes across looking like dog shit. Brock showed up like Brock has shown up when he needs to. Brock shows up. Where it goes from here?
Okay, I'm with you with that. I get that. I've never seen anybody do to Brock Lesnar what that big man did to him on Monday. Tell me someone who's done that.
I'm giving the credit to Brock more than I am to Oba. Let's get to WrestleMania. Let's see what Oba does.
That's great, but he carried himself like he's already to that level, right? Can you agree with that?
Where's Brock this Monday?
Fuck. Okay, well, you just tell me.
Where's Brock Monday?
Why do you fight? Listen to
Brock
me.
Monday? Where's Brock Lesnar Monday?
Listen.
Brock Lesnar's in Boston, Massachusetts, Monday night.
And if Oba knocks his ass out again, I'm gonna laugh. You tell me right now. You tell me a time that Brock.
No, I think you're gonna have. I think you'll have the reverse Monday night.
Maybe, but do you tell me this right now? When's the last time someone made Brock look vulnerable like that?
Goldberg.
Really? This whole
36 seconds or whatever that was.
I'm not. That doesn't count. That was a novelty. When is the last time someone has made Brock look vulnerable? Okay, and put their foot on his fucking chest.
Which you told him to do.
Yeah, and
I'm just saying the fact. Now listen,
you have to go back to Drew McIntyre.
No, I'm going to put it like this: that SummerSlam match he had with Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns picked up the ring by the tractor and had Brock flipping in the ring.
Roman lifted the tractor? I thought that Brock lifted the tractor. No, Brock lifted the fucking tractor.
I'm just saying, it's the fact of.
See, he can't even remember. See, it's that old age of senile ass. Can't remember shit.
You got to remember something, okay?
You're old.
When it comes to Brock, since he's been back, he is a specimen. Before he left, it was okay. What can Brock do? But since he's come back,
will you come in here and talk to this man some logic? Because he's just sitting here and he just wants to fucking argue.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm saying to you like this: Brock Lesnar, right now, unless Oba Femi can flip it, has made this match.
So, hold on. I'm going to say this because we got El Grande Leche watching wrestling now, right? Yeah. Okay. So he likes Seth Rollins, which I have let y'all watch that segment together, right? Yeah. So as someone who's not the biggest watcher all the time, but catches the back end of it, what have you, and you saw this, what was your opinion of the ruler, Oba Femi, and his interaction with Brock? So admit it, Gerard. Oba Femi looks pretty damn good.
Like I just said, because Brock allowed it to happen.
Leave the extra shit out. Does Oba? Do you think? Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Let's pretend it wasn't Brock that he did that to.
It's not Kit Wilson.
Okay, let's pretend it wasn't Brock that he did this to. Listening to that crowd, listening to that dun dun ooh, and you hear "Oba."
Listen, don't get me wrong. It was impressive to see it.
So when you say,
the crowd in the
what do you think of Obafemi?
Massive.
I'm not asking for one adjective. I'm asking for a genuine conversation. What do you think of Obafemi? Do you think he's got a place in the future of this business?
If he's paired with the right people.
Jesus fuck. I'm just asking a basic question.
I'm telling you, if he's paired with the right people, absolutely. Who those right people are right now, I don't know. Because you already got Braun Strowman talking about he wants to come back just to fight Oba.
Everything they've done with him, they've done right.
And like I just said, so when at WrestleMania, trying to find out how they do this match with Brock.
Okay, so this is where I will agree with you. If Brock does not put him over at Mania, it's over. His run is done. If they have built him up from NXT, not next, NXT to here, for him just to lose to Brock, it has been a failure.
My question to you is this. Does Brock go from the F5 to Oba doing his move? A quick move like that, is that as
okay. I'll counter that with another question. Does it need to be a squash or does it need to be a competitive fucking men slapping meat?
Oh, we all know how much you like the men slapping meat.
Just answer the question. Does it need to be a squash or does it need to be them fucking beating the shit out of each other for a good 5-10 minutes?
It needs to be a prize fight. It needs to be. Because for Brock to truly put him over as the next big thing, it needs to be a prize fight.
Okay.
You need, and now mind you, whatever night it's on, it's going to be the first match of the night. So if your ass is not in your chair at the start of WrestleMania, night 1 or night 2, you will miss this match.
Okay.
Because Brock has always said, if I'm not last, I'm first.
The first or the second thing I want to talk about is another young talent. I'm not a fan of him. I'm going to be honest. I'm very particular about who I like, but he's kind of winning me over at times. He is the reincarnation of the Booker Man, Booker T, in his lemon pepper steppers. What do you think of Trick Williams right now?
He's trying too hard to be a brother.
Whose brother? Who's his brother? Who's Trick Williams' brother?
No, he's trying too hard to be a brother.
He is a brother.
I'm saying, but he's trying too hard, which basically means by that is this.
Please explain, because you're being. I can see someone taking offense to what you're saying, but keep going.
What I'm saying is this, okay? Booker T, without Stevie Ray, doesn't become Booker T.
I don't believe that.
Trick Williams right now, okay? He doesn't have the goal that his partner has. Trick Williams right now.
Did you ever watch Carmelo and Trick in NXT? Did you ever really watch that storyline?
I watch it, and I'm saying to you like this. Here's the thing that they're trying to do with Trick. They're forcing Trick down your throat. Booker T did not get forced down your throat.
Booker T didn't get a fucking opportunity until your favorite person in the world, Vince Russo, put him over.
No. Booker T came along organically with Harlem Heat. With Harlem Heat, he came across organically. The best
which one? When he dropped the N-bomb during the interview? Which one? Which time?
The best thing that ever happened to Booker T was Sherry. Because when Sherry got to with Harlem Heat, that legitimized that team.
Her name is Sister Sherry. Thank you very much.
Okay, whatever. I'm saying to you is, when they got together,
he only talks about her like this because he got to see her boobs.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't blame him for that.
That legitimate. Yeah, exactly. Jealous? Don't be. I'm saying to you is that legitimized that team. That legitimized him.
Her tits legitimized?
No, I'm saying to her presence. Her presence legitimized Harlem
God
Heat.
rest her soul. I love Sherry Martell. She's amazing.
And I'm saying to you is like this. Booker T wasn't forced on people. But here's the thing. Okay, but he wasn't though. That's the thing, Gerard. You're literally
I don't know why you do this, but you act as if the first time they come to the main roster, it's the first time they've been seen.
I'm not asking like that.
You are, because he's not being. Look, hold on. I want you to think about the
Who has
journey.
Trick wrestled right now that's worth having that thing?
Joe Hendry,
I'm saying
Santana.
the other night he does a thing. Last night he does a thing with Sami Zayn.
Okay, he's not okay. Hear me out. The man was in the Elimination Chamber recently. Look, you got me defending fucking Trick Williams, and I don't like Trick Williams. But
Right.
he started out as fucking Carmelo Hayes' fucking lackey in NXT. When Carmelo Hayes that was him, he was the one. Let's just be honest. The Carmelo Hayes fucking experiment has not gone as good as they'd hope it would be. It is what it is.
Did they pick the wrong guy?
I don't think so, because I don't think Trick was seasoned yet. But then you have Trick, who's left by himself in NXT after beating Dragunov, wins their fucking title. He goes on, does an amazing job, loses the belt, whatever. He ends up, Obafemi wins the belt during this time. Trick was always a babyface up to this point, and then something happened. Then he showed his real chops. Then Trick Williams goes over to TNA and does the unthinkable, and he takes the TNA world title off of Joe Hendry.
Do you think that killed him, though?
No. And I thought that it ruined.
I'll tell you right now, Trick Williams, when you want to compare it, he hasn't had his shucky ducky quack quack moment yet.
I'm not worried, but see, he's not. It's not about being comedic for him. Hear me out. Hear me the fuck out. He went to TNA and he played an excellent heel. I didn't hate Trick Williams. I wanted him to drop that fucking belt because that's their belt. He did a good job playing the character. Okay. Now hold on. He came back and he started with this. He started on the main roster. The thing about Trick, he's not using interference to win. He's not doing all this extra shit. He's coming out there in his lemon pepper steppers and he's whooping your ass, and he's doing it on his own. I would argue that he needed that heel run to come back and really, okay, someone I would compare him to is Roxanne Perez. You like Roxanne Perez. I like Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, when she was in ROH, when she started out in fucking NXT, was a baby face. But but the same as her and the same as him, they can play an excellent fucking heel. I think the money with him is going to be as a baby face. I absolutely think that. Listen to the crowd when he comes out. They don't even hesitate. And it's not about the song. It's him coming out in a mink fucking coat. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. They like him already. He's already up there.
I've asked you before about this question. When they let go of Swerve and they went with Trick, did they let go of the wrong guy?
Yes.
That's what I've asked you before.
Okay. No, this is why I'll say that.
Have they tried to capitalize off getting off of Swerve Strickland? Because almost the same kind of chant goes with Swerve that they're doing with Trick Williams.
No, Swerve's a bad guy now. So hear me out with that. The thing about Swerve is he can do it all, but he plays an excellent fucking heel. Excellent fucking heel. Now, with Trick has had 3 years. Trick has had 3 years, and he's gotten good enough that he can bypass the mid card, and he's already being talked about in the main event. Okay, that's impressive. Let's say it for what it is. He's one of their developmental guys who can do that and has done that. The thing about Swerve that made him and to this day makes him dangerous is he's a veteran. He's had matches with the Kennys Omegas of the world. He's had matches with the Andrades of the world. He's had matches in WWE, AEW.
So what is Trick Williams missing?
He needs to be more crisp in the ring, and I think he needs to be more confident on the mic because, yes, he can play a heel, but not as good as Swerve. He's not a believer.
You've already mentioned it, and I want you to try and catch on. You've said it. What is Trick Williams missing?
The same thing that I think that Randy Orton has showed recently.
No.
What?
Could you imagine Trick Williams with Booker T as his manager?
He doesn't need a manager.
No, but I'm saying is though, could you imagine Trick Williams?
Are you saying that Trick Williams needs to Prince Nana? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I don't agree with that. I think it's two separate kind of characters.
No.
I think, okay, well, the reason why I think Swerve and Nana work so well together is because Nana is that small glimmer of light that Swerve still has.
Let's get away from that. Nana. What if Lash was talking for Trick?
Why does he need her to talk for him?
No. I'm just saying to you.
Because I'm sorry, she can't talk. I'm sorry, she really can't talk for shit. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying though is if you could have the perfect scenario to where Lash talked for Trick, a la, Elizabeth Savage kind of thing, to where
Elizabeth didn't talk for Macho.
I'm just saying is the fact of Trick Williams right now. He looks lost to me. Like, I'm not saying him personally. The character looks lost because they don't know.
Okay, so I agree with that, but this is what kills me about your old ass fucking grandpa dinosaur fucking booking. Not everybody needs a fucking valet.
I'm not saying a valet. I'm saying a person who can actually talk.
He doesn't need a Heyman. He doesn't need a Lash. I think Trick Williams will find it, but he doesn't need that shit.
He needs El Mando, Alejandro.
He doesn't. Why does? Okay, this is where your old ass booking gets you in fucking trouble because nobody likes there. It's dog eat dog. Okay, you're in. What the hell? Are you having a seizure?
No, I'm looking for the old ass booking.
Because that's what you do, old ass fucking. You wanted again. I will bring it up every episode, and you know what I'm going to bring up, right? You know exactly what I'm going to bring up. That old ass booking, right?
That's my favorite thing ever.
Because now, I mean, he can't get a fucking T-shirt to save his life, but maybe he can get a cardboard cutout of himself so he can wrestle himself at WrestleMania. We're talking about a guy in Gerard who believed that the Miz should win the Royal Rumble and win the Money in the Bank and challenge himself at WrestleMania. You'll never live that down. I would gladly have you on commentary with me on a show all day long. If you and I, by the grace of God, what the fuck are you doing? If you and I ever had if fate itself intervened and allowed you and me to be commentators or work for a company or own a company, I would never let you book fuck all. I would commentate with you. I would let you rest.
I could be the broadcast journalist. Yes, I could be.
But you could never be a booker. For God's sake, don't ever let you
I've
be
never
a
been a five-time.
Now, you and I will agree that Meltzler is full of shit, and I think his opinions are trash because he's a biased motherfucker. So I know that I always get unbiased opinions from you, but I will absolutely say you cannot book for shit.
And you know what? I never claimed to be.
But you come up with the most ridiculous ideas.
Hey, listen, ridiculousness sometimes, okay? I wish sometimes people came up with ridiculous. When you're looking at something
Vince Russo can book a better show than you.
I'm like, so you want to look at something sometimes say, what? Listen, a Judy Bagwell on a pole match, I don't even know if I'd ever go that far.
You would have definitely done the Viagra in a pole match.
A tampon on a pole match. I just wanted to see you look.
You would do that though. You love the Viagra on a pole match. I know you did.
Well, it depends on who's in the cage. All I'm saying is, it's funny. We're an hour and a half in. We haven't even talked about WrestleMania yet. That's good.
Oh, we're probably going to get hit for it, but yeah, she brought up a good point. We haven't talked about something that happened today. We found out that someone who comes from money, who comes from class, ladies love him for all his cash, was found innocent on all charges.
DiBiase Jr.?
Theodore DiBiase Jr. found innocent. The guy whose hairstyle Gerard modeled himself out, his father, for 14 years, has his son. His son has been found innocent on embezzlement, I believe, and misuse.
A whole lot of charges.
And it was 30 charges, I believe, of misuse of government funds.
All charges in fraud.
All charges in fraud. And I'm happy to see it because all the other people that were accused, including his brother, pleaded guilty.
What about Brett Favre? Because Brett Favre was involved in that too.
I think Brett Favre was I don't know if he was found guilty, but he said he's the only one that, from what I heard, he is the only one who didn't take a deal and believed and he was right. And I'm so, I'm not going to sit here and say that takes balls. That takes fucking balls.
Dude, he was looking at 30 years.
No. With all the charges, well over a life sentence.
Oh, I thought I saw 30 years.
On each count, 20 years.
Oh.
And it was 30 counts? What was it, 30? Yeah. 30 counts times 20.
Holy shit. They would have put him under the prison.
They would have taken his bones, grinded that shit up, and put it in and made a new fucking wing of that prison.
I'll tell you this right now. Good for him. He should go out tonight and play the play the Powerball, because he just got a winning lottery ticket. Because
is that him at his press conference with the fucking shades on and shit, looking cool? Can we play that? Let's play that. I want to see.
Why you think we get a hit on that? Why we get a hit? He's under contract to nobody.
What I'm laughing about is that man right there. That took, whether you like him or not, balls.
My question was this: if it wasn't for his name, is he even involved in that?
He wasn't a big enough star. Let's just be honest. His dad may have been a big star. He was not a big enough star. Yeah.
I'll put you like this.
Here we go.
Okay. Today, Junior.
She's gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna laugh.
Right now, the fuck are you talking about?
No, it's not.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, but you didn't have it on the screen. There it is. It's on the screen now.
They did an amazing job of portraying the truth, and 7 years of being slandered and made to be something that is completely false is about torn my family apart, but we're strong. And I've had so many friends and so much family that have come around us, and I'm proud that we've walked through this, and I'm so thankful that it's over.
Did you have any doubt at all that you would be found not guilty?
I left it in God's hands, and whatever the verdict was today, I was okay with it. Man makes his plans, God directs his steps.
What was going through your mind when you heard the words "not guilty" 13 times?
It still hadn't sank in. It's just been so long that this cloud has lived over me, and I'm just grateful for it to be over, and I'm grateful that I get to go home to my children, and I will remain with them.
Okay, is it me? I'm hearing him talking. I'm hearing DiBiase's music playing.
Right?
I don't know. Is that me?
No, it's not just you.
Everyone's got a price.
Everybody's gonna pay, because $1 million man always gets his way. So when do we hear from the $1 million man on this one?
He was defending his son. He was saying that there's not possible. None of this.
Right.
Son didn't do anything wrong.
And you know what's sad is? He closed down his ministries and everything like that because of this case. Now, even though he was found not guilty, was he guilty of anything? We don't know.
In court of law, it states he didn't. And I mean, the fact is, he could have taken an easy rate, taken a plea deal, and this and that, and not gone this 7 years.
Nothing.
But he believed he didn't do anything, and he fought it. So I can't. He could have done like everybody else and taken whatever probation or whatever it was, but he paid this fine or whatever. He went out there and he fought it for 7 years. I got to believe that there's some truth to what he's saying. Why would you put yourself through that?
On the hopes of today.
So,
he put himself in the hopes of the criminal justice system, and the criminal justice system works for him. Now, are there going to be people that believe that the verdict today was true? No. Not everybody's going to believe that verdict was true. But you know what? When you get acquitted by a jury of your peers, the good part about that is that's where the road ends for you. That's it. You walking out of that courtroom, you are a free man, regardless of what people might think about it. Now, is his journey over? Probably not. There might be some civil ramifications he has to go through. But that's nothing compared to jail time. Come after me civilly. Fine. Oh, you need me to pay back some money? Maybe, unfortunately, maybe you guys think, okay, here you go, I'll pay you back some money.
What we know is that he's free, he's clear, and good for him.
And that's what, listen, for his father, for him, for his family, today's a good day. Come Monday, if the state decides to go after him civilly, he'll never have to worry about seeing inside of a jail. You know, and like I said, his road might not be over because they could go after him.
Will you just enjoy today and stop being such a negative fuck?
Listen, I'm just speaking reality because we live in a world of reality. We all know how civil cases go.
This is why he's wearing a shirt with a bunch of cocks on it.
Because you like cock.
You're a fucking cock. Is what you were. Anyway, our fucking I can't fucking say for Gerard, but my best wishes to Ted DiBiase Jr. Congratulations. I hope that you can look past this, move on with your life.
I hope he can sleep. I hope he can sleep tonight with a clear conscience.
I don't know if Gerard believes that because Gerard's a dick and he wants to sit here and bring up you might get charged civilly. But I am hoping that you don't get charged civilly, Ted.
No, you don't think that isn't already on the table?
I'm hoping that you don't get charged, Ted. I think that you're a wonderful human being. I wish your career would have done better in WWE. Gerard's a piece of shit and wants to wish all this bad on you. So I don't.
No, I just speak of the truth. I speak of reality.
He speaks in bullshit. He speaks in horrible fucking
I don't
bullshit.
live in your window to where everything's like tunnel vision.
And remember, Ted, he believes people like The Miz should wrestle themselves at WrestleMania.
Okay. I also believe his father was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, too. So.
Yeah, because he did cut his hair like your father's for many years. If you watch the end of this show, you will see Sid Vicious grabbing Gerard by his stupid haircut and throwing him to the ground.
Well, and hopefully he won't have to sit alone and eat a sandwich.
Let that go. You still have that video?
It makes me so sad.
Do you have that video?
I'll have to look and see if I
look
still
in
have it.
See if you have it before this end of the show. We'll see if we can put it up there.
All right, I'll try.
What?
At DiBiase. So you don't ever remember what she's talking about? So you remember? Okay, when we talked about Mel and the thing that happened, and we came on here and we showed Doofus that you have these still photos, or we have the actual video.
Oh, the one from the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. So there's a video of Ted DiBiase sitting in a chair. Okay, put that up, please. Put it up.
Oh,
so
God.
she thinks this is so fucking sad. It
makes me sad.
Uh-oh. You had this waiting. You had to have had this waiting to get me in a gotcha moment.
No.
She has a video of fucking Ted DiBiase just sitting by himself eating a sandwich, and she thinks it looks so fucking sad. That's the look I get when she brings it up. Here it is. Oh, God, here it is.
Oh, I love the zebra pants. Gotta love the zebra pants. You gotta love the zebra pants. Wait a minute. What was the event?
The Boy Scouts of America event.
What the heck? What was the high school?
All right. It makes me sad because, like, even though it was the Boy Scouts of America and it was in a high school, there were fans there. They had this whole show, and the kids are excited, and like the parents are excited, and there's the music, and there's the announcing, and there's this whole larger than life thing. And then once it's all over, it's kind of like the Bob Seger song, Turn the Page, right? So at the end of it, once everything's over, he's just left eating a sandwich by himself. Like, it's this sad, like, commentary on
My question is, are you sure that was
of
after
being
the
on
show?
the road and not being in the limelight. That once that spotlight's done, you're some dude in zebra pants eating a sandwich all
Are you
alone.
sure that's after the
so
show,
sad.
before the show, or during the show?
It doesn't matter. It just she thought it was sad. He's eating a sandwich in his
I'll tell
zebra
you this right
pants.
now. That show was in the afternoon, and that night we did a show in Boston Garden, and then the next day we did Royal Rumble in Albany, New York.
So you don't find it sad that Ted DiBiase is eating a zebra pants sandwich?
No, he obviously wasn't by himself because somebody was recording him to say, "Hey, Ted, let's just do this." Because, still photos always tell the truth, and videos always tell the truth.
Do you think maybe somebody was touching him inappropriately, and that's why he's eating a sandwich by himself?
He didn't have a juice box.
What kind of sandwich was it? Maybe it was a creamsicle sandwich.
Ew. fluffernutter.
There you go. I'm just saying, I'm just asking.
This is coming from both of y'all who like juju babies or whatever the fuck that candy is. Gerard's
Juju
always-
fruit.
Jujubes
Juju fruits.
and Juji fruits.
Yeah, see, it's just inquiring minds want to know.
I don't. I'm good. I don't need the
He
fucking
really
juice.
doesn't want to know.
Kind of like she likes Swedish fish, and I'm like,
I
okay.
do love Swedish fish.
I'm sorry, Dan. Inquiring minds want to know is not part of your timeline, but it's part of ours. That's what we grew up with.
I know what that was. I just don't want no fucking jujubes. You can keep your junior mints and your jujubes and your bucking.
They would get stuck in your teeth.
I don't give a fuck. I don't want them.
It's funny. I have a dilemma tomorrow because I was going to go to a place called the Stockyard because we have that called up here.
You know, you got like one sheep and a fucking milking cow.
No, it's a restaurant.
Did you say a milking cow?
Yeah, that's all he's got up there. They ain't got shit up there for what we got.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. I do got something you ain't got. The ocean.
You can have it. I'm good.
You know what else I ain't got? Hurricanes and tornadoes.
We don't have hurricanes. We might have a tornado here and there, but
here and there.
You know what? I don't. You want to know what I don't have? A
Snow.
wall of fucking snow blocks me into my house.
Well, wait a minute. But snow melts. Tornadoes, you got to rebuild your house. Yeah, snakes are alligators.
Yeah, but no, you have Boston traffic.
Yeah, like that's worse than frickin' Dallas.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, okay. Takes you an hour to go 10 minutes.
You're the one who just built it.
Yeah, snow was all melted now. Correct.
No, you were the one who just bitched and moaned about how fucking Massachusetts is the other day and how you wish it was. Oh, sometimes I wish I was in Texas because the weather's lovely over there and blah blah blah.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying to you is like this. I got 8 years to retire. When I do, where am I going to be? Someplace where I never see snow again. Just need to learn how. No, Dan needs to learn how to drive anyway.
Okay, that was one time. Let it go.
In a non-traffic day.
Look, let it go. Let's let it go. So we're getting to that last 10 minutes, and I think we've covered just about everything.
Talk about WrestleMania yet?
Well, I mean, but what is there to say about WrestleMania? I think I want Roman to win. I don't really care about the card. I mean, that is you made me think about something because we also had another promo. Your girl, Jade Cargill, against my girl, Rhea Ripley. Who walks away from that?
The money tells me Rhea. But I'll tell you what I saw last night. I'd like to see Jade keep the title.
Why?
She looked like $1 million last night.
I did. And Leland, I brought that up to him and he threw a fucking fit. It's only because it's 316 day. Ah!
So what was the team? Wait, hold on. What was the Wrestle Tickets posted ticket sales for?
They only gained 2,000 tickets additional for each night. They finally surpassed the 40,000 mark for both nights.
And you know what? Pathetic.
Put the laugh on there. Put the laugh on there. Put the laugh track on that.
Pathetic. That just goes to show you. That just goes to show you that the fans are basically telling WWE, you've overpriced us out.
Yeah, and you know what? Hold on. You know what? Somebody watched a pay-per-view the other day. Somebody shared that with me. We had a wonderful night. I think it was 4 hours of fucking wrestling.
7.
I think she's here, and we were going to talk about something, and I said that she should talk about this. We have about 10 minutes.
7.
Would you like to tell me about your experience watching AEW?
7 hours. 7 hours.
Did it feel like 7 hours to you?
Yes.
Look, first of all, it was on the West Coast, so they started earlier. They went on past Gerard's bedtime, so it felt like a long time.
Anybody on the East Coast, it was past their bedtime.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and we talked about it, and I was watching the text thread between you two, but when there's a WWE live event, it seems that every single match has slow ass pacing. It's painful to watch. I lose interest halfway through. Like it does not hold me. And I will say that for the majority of the matches, I won't say all of them because there were songs from like, I could give a shit about Darby Allin, but for the majority of the matches on that pay per view, I was glued to the screen. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. And that last match was between Hangman and MJF was the bloodiest, freakiest thing I've ever seen.
But
There's a but.
I thought you enjoyed it.
No, there is
No, I did enjoy it.
And I'm sick and tired of the hanging shit. I'm tired of it. If that shit was in
The
WWE,
hypodermic through the face was fucking wicked.
It would be plastered all over the news. The hanging segment, stuff like that. The hanging.
You're talking about the hanging thing, that the hypodermic needle through his face?
Everything like that. If this was on WWE,
I didn't like it, but I like. Okay, so let me explain something about that. I've never liked that spot. But when MJF did it and said, "Oh, it's okay when he does it," you and fucking MJF are the same motherfucking guy, because he comes out and he says, "Oh, it's okay for Hangman to do it," and y'all cheer him. But when I do it, I'm the bad guy. Fuck y'all.
I was surprised by the lack of violence in Moxley's match.
My thing is this, and you guys, I hope you both understand this. Somewhere, somehow, some kid's gonna see this. He's gonna try it with his buddies. Just like when Austin was doing the stunner, and they had to actually go on news and tell people, stop trying to stunner on your friends because these are trained professionals, because kids are actually getting their necks broken.
So you're going to sit here and tell me that their kids, the new fad is going to be fucking hypodermic needling people?
No, I'm talking about with the chain hanging somebody and seeing if they can just do it as a joke.
I want you to find that still image of the Undertaker hanging the Big Boss Man from the Hell in a Cell.
And I would have said the same thing back then. Hanging has no place. Hanging has no place in anything, because I'll tell you this right now. Repression, man. Repression.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit, because you didn't think I was going to pull that one out of my ass, did you?
What?
Undertaker hanging the big.
Yeah,
you because you didn't think I was.
For hanging. You know what the sad part is? If that had been a white guy hanging a black guy over the ropes and stuff like that,
this has nothing to do with that. Why did you
hear all about it? So if we hear about it all, then we should be hearing all about it now.
You see, he gets all pissy. He's a big old piss pants in his mouth.
Do it.
You're full of shit.
Somewhere, some kids are gonna try and emulate that, and you know what? It's gonna end up.
I love how he's fucking this big kid. Look at that.
I'm worried about the children.
You worried about the children there? Were you worried about there?
What year was that?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And
full of shit.
Just so you know, okay.
Okay.
By looking at that picture right there, I'm disgusted by it.
No, he's not. Look at him.
Going on.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's not even. He's pouting right now.
It shouldn't be going on. It's pathetic. There's nowhere in professional wrestling for hanging.
Zoom in on his face and tell me he's being serious. Look at him. He's so. Mr. Moral Ground over here.
One of us gonna have morals. We know you got none.
No, because he's got it. This should not happen, and he shouldn't be doing this. Boo hoo hoo.
And the other thing
so angry.
And just so you know, a lot of what I read online about that pay-per-view that you're glorifying, had too many returns in one show. So
you will bitch about anything. Do you see what I'm talking about? All right.
And listen, I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry. That stadium looked fucking full, unlike when they were over.
When did the young Bucks all
Chicago,
of a sudden become
and you could hear the pops. There were some you
with
couldn't.
their kids. Oh wait, let me come out with my kids and then get busted open and bleed like a sieve. No, yeah, okay. I mean that looks really good. I didn't like it when Mick Foley did it in front of his kids. I should have. The young Bucks. Well, then again, you know, I'm kind of biased against the Young Bucks because I think they're shameless self-promoters too.
I don't like them, so yeah.
You know, they glorified independent whores.
Independent whores as opposed to dependent whores?
Well, no. It is.
All you've done. So I'm going to go back to an old promo that CM Punk and John Cena had. And you sit here, and Gerard always claims to be the guy fighting for wrestlers and all this other stuff, and how he's trying to speak the truth. He's become the New York Yankees of commentary.
No, that would never happen.
Because all he's worried about is bitching about, like, there was a time when he was bitching for better storylines, better this, better that, and then all of a sudden you have a company who's actually listened to their fan base, listened to people like
They're
you.
not doing storylines. They're just doing matches.
You're gonna tell me that Tony Storm versus Maria Shafir wasn't a great storyline?
Biting her tit,
Fuck yeah.
and then you have Ronda Rousey come out. Please, I was pissed because Ronda Rousey.
Better tit. Fuck yeah. Well, you know, the only thing that he did compliment, the only thing that Gerard complimented that night, and I can go back and show y'all if I have to fucking take a screenshot of the text message, when I talked about the divine goddesses, Megan Bain and her partner. If you're talking about the girl in the yellow and the red, oh yeah, he was Vincent out. Like he was, oh yeah, give me more of that, yeah.
Should I do a?
He was doing a full on Jake. He was doing the Ric Flair where he does that.
Woo! We can go to Space Mountain. We can ride that ride all night long. Woo!
You could go to Space Molehill because that's where you're about at right now.
Yeah.
Like he's become the New York fucking Yankees of fucking commentary.
My name is not John Sterling.
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well start calling you A-Rod. Or we're going to start calling you Johnny Damon.
A-Rod at least had J-Lo.
That doesn't say much.
It doesn't say much. Is that something to brag about?
Well, then again, who didn't?
So did Puff, so did Diddy, but you know.
Yeah, that's what I said. Who didn't?
All I'm saying is Jenny from the Block.
Well, wait, another guy from Boston did have her too.
Mr. Affleck.
Hey, J-Lo had everyone.
Sure did. All I'm saying is you were wrong. AEW put on a better show. From a consumer base, listen to this. They have the diehards like myself, but someone who doesn't watch every show, someone who's not a diehard pro wrestling fucking like, oh my God, I got to see everything. She was invested for all of those hours we watched. She was invested.
You're going to tell me you actually watched from 5 o'clock at night to 11:30?
Yes.
God damn.
And it went by so quick.
No, I watched 3 matches. Like this is going on
because you won't give it a fucking legitimate chance.
I cannot watch 3
We're talking about a guy here who will sit there and criticize. We used to have that. You should have that photo.
Which one?
Aubrey.
Oh God.
Oh, with Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that one. Do you also have the one with him as a referee? I go back to the fact that fucking Gerard here, after she won him over by personally having a conversation and talking to him. So Aubrey Edwards from AEW sat there and talked to Jacob and said, I took a picture with him, everything. He's so excited when he says, dude, I met her. She's really nice. And I take back some of the mean things I said. And what does Gerard say? I want you to take a look at that picture of him holding the big time wrestling championship and going, this is what a real referee looks like.
I'm sorry, but that picture.
He looks constipated in that picture.
Does it look like I really want to be there?
Looks like he wants to take a shit in that picture so bad. His cheeks are clenched so hard in that picture. At the end of the day, AEW is putting on a better product. They're putting on a better show. Their audiences are popping harder. And it's because they legitimately seem like they care. Maybe they don't. Maybe you're right, Gerard. Maybe they don't give a shit. But they're not putting The Miz against The Miz at WrestleMania. So,
no, listen, okay? Not even this is happening at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania! I challenge you.
All I'm saying is, like, can you just say one nice thing about AEW?
Every day when I don't watch them on television.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.